Well, welcome to Money with Mark Albert. Really appreciate you being with me. Today, special guest, we have Rich Spence.
Thanks, Mark.
Who's the president of the Mortgage Center Canada, which is an outstanding honor for us to have you with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I really appreciate it.
I wish my kids would get as excited as you do when.
Well, maybe you show them this video. You never know, right?
Okay, make sure they subscribe after this.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, well, we got Rich here, and for you, the listener, you know, he has a level of expertise in the industry, which is very special for us to have. And so, before we talk to him about the market conditions in 2019 and 2020, just to ask you, you're the president of the Mortgage Center.
Yep.
Can you just tell us a little bit about, understand, who is the Mortgage Center?
Okay, so Mortgage Center Canada is a mortgage organization that's been around for 30 years. Actually, we're the longest standing mortgage brokerage in Canada. Excuse me. We have over 1,400 mortgage professionals across the country.
Yeah.
People like yourself.
That's right. I'm with them as well. Yeah.
Yep. In our organization, what we do is we help mortgage professionals learn and educate and know about the mortgage market. We provide them tools and connection with lenders and partners to help consumers like yourself safely finance their homes.
Yeah.
So Mortgage Center, again, across Canada, we have 127 franchise owners, 256 locations, and 1,400 individuals out there helping consumers.
That's great. And, you know, I've been proud to be with the Mortgage Center for over 4 years now. So very exciting for me. Now, let me ask you, just to help our audience here, looking at the mortgage market for 2019, well, what's been your observation?
2019, I think actually the story starts in 2018.
Yeah.
In 2018, the interest rates were actually rising.
Yeah.
And there was this impending doom of a recession, right? So, which really filtered into the early part of 2019.
Yeah.
Real estate was down. In some market, it was really down. So in the Vancouver market and the GTA market, nobody was buying homes, right? So it was a very slow year. Consumers were nervous, interest rates rising. Some didn't qualify, right? So, and then we saw in the second quarter and the third quarter, the interest rates started to drop. And what that caused is people confidence in the market, and they went back in. People who did not qualify for mortgages then qualified, and the real estate really picked up. So it ended up a very strong year in 2019. I actually have another mortgage broker who says there's the Raptors. Is that in the first two quarters, the Toronto Raptors were in the finals. Nobody was buying and selling homes, and the moment the Raptors won, everybody went back to buying real estate again. Right?
That's good. That's good.
That's another theory.
Oh yeah, it's a theory. It's a theory out there. Don't
go Raptors. Go Raptors.
That's right. Yeah.
So that would sum it up. A very good year overall, but it was really strong in the latter half, and it was really around the interest rates dropping and real estate coming. Consumer confidence in real estate went up. Yeah. And a lot more transactions were happening.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate that. Now we're in December 2019.
Yeah.
So we're moving into 2020. No one has a crystal ball, right? But maybe some thoughts that you'd like to share with us as we look into 2020.
So I wish I had a crystal ball.
Yeah.
People argue about where interest rates are going, where they're not going. I think the one thing that I can predict for 2020 is that the complexity of doing a mortgage will not get any easier.
Yeah.
The government introduced some legislation back in 2017 and then again in 2018 that really addressed the affordability of mortgages. And they really were out there to try to protect consumers from getting exposed to debt.
That's right.
But what that did was it complicated the mortgage process. And consumers like yourself need a professional like Mark to help you go through that. So the only thing I can predict in 2020 is mortgages will not get less complicated.
Okay.
Interest rates are going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
You still need a home for your family.
Yeah.
And to visit a mortgage broker to help you get through that.
That's right. And so, no, that's good to know. So mortgages are complicated, but it's not going to get more complicated. Now we're like a mortgage brokerage, right?
Correct.
So what would be the advantage for someone to work with someone like myself or another agent within the Mortgage Center versus going directly to the bank?
Well, the best way to explain that is Mark and all Mortgage Center agents have access to essentially 65 banks.
Yeah.
Some you would know, some you wouldn't know. And each of those banks would have 10 or 20 products. So you have a depth of products that you can go to for different situations. Whereas when you go to a bank, the mortgage specialist at the bank sells that one bank's product. So they're really pigeonholed into selling just that bank's product. So for that person that might qualify for that product, it's great.
Yeah.
Whatever, tomato. But for 95% of you that wouldn't fit in that little square, you need somebody who has exposure to different products, different situations, like self-employed. So I heard a stat once that the millennial generation is, or they call them the gig economy, is like they're a lot of them are self-employed. So 75% of millennials are self-employed. That is very hard to get financing at a bank, right? So you need different solutions, different lenders to help you get through that, right? So that is one of the major differences on dealing with an independent mortgage broker versus a bank, is that there's more solutions. They've seen different things. If you got into some credit trouble in the past, it's very hard to get a mortgage at a bank. Whereas Mark and team will have solutions for you, temporary ones to get you out of that situation and into longer term. So I think the real benefit is flexibility. And if you're not in that 1% of the population that fit in that nice little square, you need a broker. Or you're going to be told, sorry, can't help you. Right? So I think that's really the major difference.
No, I agree with that. Thanks for being with us today, Rich.
Your
expertise, very appreciative here.
Thank you.
For you listening, if you have any thoughts or comments you'd like to share in the notes below, feel free to do that. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, share the video. Listen, have yourself a great day and look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.